Okay, today we're going to be talking about Southampton versus Newcastle, Carabao Cup semi-final, a massive, massive game. Obviously, us Southampton fans, we've got bigger things to worry about. We may not be in the Prem next year, right? But this is a nice little side bonus, potential little bit of fun we could have. Obviously, we're playing Newcastle, who are fucking insane, aren't they? We didn't really expect to beat City, so I guess being here is sort of well, we made it, I guess, somehow. But against Newcastle over two legs, I mean, this is going to be fucking hard, isn't it? This is going to be hard. When it comes to a one-legged game like against City, it's sort of like, we could just have a good performance today. The one performance out of 10 games that we play well, right? And we did exactly that. But against Newcastle, you have to do it two legs. And they're a pretty good fucking team, aren't they? They're pretty good. I don't know, I can't remember their record, but they're on a fucking run, unbeaten run, and a big one at that. And, well, I mean, we're not playing the best, right? Against Palace, yes, we won 3 in a row. Palace weren't the best, but we won. Man City, we actually played well and won. They obviously didn't play their strongest team. And against Everton, we didn't play well. I wouldn't say personally we played well. We played okay. It was an average performance. But Everton should have won. They had better chances. But James Ward-Prowse does what James Ward-Prowse does, if I could speak. Against Villa, we were shit first half. I think we had 20% possession, one shot. Second half, we had like a little period of like 10-15 minutes where we were good. But other than that, we were pretty bad. I mean, Villa were obviously the better team. I said it in my reaction video and stuff like that and on stream. Villa were a better team. I mean, they were far superior. Bazunu had to make good saves. But to be fair, Emi Martinez also did have to make a couple decent saves. So it really could have gone either way. Obviously, when you play better than the other team, it doesn't exactly mean you're going to win. But obviously that decision sums it up. Obviously I got some criticism from obviously Villa fans that were like, oh, he stamped his ankle. Well, he just didn't. Like, if you actually watched it and had like some eyesight, you could realise that he's literally just grazed his boot and he slightly took the boot down. So you can tell, like, if you were to stamp an ankle, the boot wouldn't come down because it hit the ankle. Like, it's just like basic logic. So when you look at it, the boot, clearly the stud or whatever it is, right, goes in between the foot and the boot and drags it down, or on the outside of the boot and drags it down. That's not enough to start rolling on the ground and crying. Jacob Ramsey. So you can say whatever you want. It's all perspectives. It's all fucking football fan logic. Most people are extremely biased between, what club they support or whatever. Obviously, a Southampton fan, you're always going to have some sort of bias towards your team, but I try to be completely unbiased as possible. I've had many times where I've called out bullshit against us or for us or whatever, and against other teams, so Liverpool, United, City or whatever, right? And I've said it because it's fact. It's logic, right? Example, the United goal against City, offside. Liverpool against Arsenal, Saka was offside. It's logic. Like, you can try and distribute it all you want, but when it comes to just straight facts, you just have to look with your eyes, and that wasn't enough. And you can say, what's the ruling? It's a obvious error or whatever. It has to be an obvious error to overturn. Is that an obvious error? Or no, because it's not a foul. And even if you thought it, maybe, is that enough contact? You're questioning yourself to begin with whether that's a foul by saying, is it enough contact? So clearly not. If you ever say, in an instance where it's like, is there enough contact to go down? Obviously not, right? If you're questioning how much it needs to go down, then clearly you're having doubts that he's bought it, right? Or he's legitimately gone down. Now, obviously, when you get stamped like that, apparently, you're fine 2 seconds after walking around. But yeah, it is what it is. Decisions happen like that all the time. Every team gets fucked with them. Obviously for us it's a bit shit because 3 wins on the bounce, take that lead, could have given us a boost and maybe finish the game winning. That doesn't really, it's not exactly guaranteed, is it? With our defence especially. But that sort of thing could be huge for the relegation battle. That if we had won that game, that could be the points that saved us. But because we didn't, that might be the points that we couldn't get that we needed. So it is a big thing to call when those sort of decisions are changing games. But anyway, we won't talk any more about that because we've got so many fucking games coming up. We've got obviously Newcastle, and then we have someone on the weekend. I can't fucking remember. And then we have Newcastle again, or is it, no, it's Newcastle, Blackpool, Newcastle, Prem. It's something like that, right? We got like 4 or 5 games the next 2 weeks, hectic stuff, and obviously a semi-final against Newcastle is not going to be fucking easy, isn't it? And obviously, when it comes to this sort of game, it is huge for any fan of any club, right? Obviously, the Liverpools and the Cities and the United and stuff, they're sort of more used to it, used to being in these sort of games, used to going to Wembley for a final. But obviously, as Southampton fans, and I'm guessing Newcastle fans as well, it's not often, right? But I guess Newcastle in the next few years will obviously have more opportunities, but with Southampton especially, I mean, last time we were in a final, 2017, lost. That was the only time I've ever seen us play in a final. Obviously, I'm not exactly old enough to be around watching in 2000 and stuff like that. And obviously, a chance for silverware is huge for us. We've only ever won one major, top division domestic trophy, which is 1976. So to even just get to a final would be huge for us, and huge for me as well. Just being able to watch us at Wembley in a final would be huge. And obviously lifting it would be fucking amazing, right? That would be probably one of the very few times in my entire life that I would see us lift a trophy. Maybe if we get relegated and we win the championship, but I prefer to not do that, But looking into this game, Newcastle are fucking insane, aren't they? They're a brilliant side. They've got financial backing. They've got Eddie Howe's a great manager. Always thought he was brilliant. It's that weird stigma of like, Bournemouth got relegated, he left the club, and everyone's like, oh shit. It's like, dude, like, you got to understand the situation. Man got them to the Prem. He's the reason they got to the Prem to begin with. And he kept them up for 5-6 years, was it? I don't know, something like that. And he did brilliantly, right? So it was funny to me that people doubted that he could do a job in Newcastle. Obviously, I would have loved it at Southampton, but obviously, we're not really the attractive club to come to. But with that, it's like, Newcastle are brilliant. I mean, when did we play them before? I can't remember, maybe November time, or maybe a bit earlier than that, October maybe. They battered us without really trying, but that was obviously under Ralph and blah, blah, blah. But with Nathan Jones, I wouldn't say it's exactly improved like crazy. We're not like a completely different team. I definitely feel like the confidence in the team is different. The body language probably different, but in terms of performances, they're not exactly special. They're still pretty average. Obviously, we're waiting on potentially maybe 2 or 3 new players in the window. I don't know why Orsic isn't really getting involved. I don't know why Alvarez isn't getting involved when you have players like fucking Alanusi coming on. You have Diallo, who is okay at times, but definitely a bit questionable in position, that's for sure. He was okay against Villa, but sometimes his decision-making and what he does on the ball is brain dead to the point where he creates problems for us. Like, I specifically remember it was like first 15 minutes, he's played a ball to no one, and they've just countered instantly, It's like those sort of things where it's like, in those positions, in those crucial positions, we need someone a bit more smart on the ball, and I just don't think Diallo's got it, eh? So, obviously, I'd like to see Alvarez and Orsic play, and I mean, they should. They should play in this game. We can't play the A-team every week when we do have Prem games that are crucial, because at the end of the day, as much as I'd love to win the Cup, we have to stay in the Prem. And obviously, if you ask me the question, you get relegated, but Cup, I'll take the Cup, obviously. But it's sort of like, I would rather not risk our Premier League safety to have a go at winning the Cup. If you get what I mean. Sort of risking our Premier League status for a Cup is risky, right? Obviously, if we win it, brilliant, fantastic. But it's going to be difficult because we're what? Newcastle, most likely United in a final, unless Forest can upset them. That's not going to fucking be easy, is it? That's not going to be easy at all. But predictions-wise, as much as I want to be optimistic and hopeful for especially the rest of the season for us, but also this game and obviously the second leg as well, I just don't see us beating Newcastle. I think when City came here, they were very, not cocky, but a little bit arrogant to think, we're going to push them over easily. We don't even need to play half our good players, right? And that bit them in the ass. But Newcastle aren't going to do that. They're not going to sleep on us. They're going to be like, this is a semi-final. They could be playing fucking a League 2 side, a National League side. They wouldn't give a shit. They would be like, we're winning this game. We're going to be super focused, and that's it. So it's going to be difficult for us, I think, especially over 2 legs. Predictions-wise, I'll go with a 2-0 Newcastle. I don't see us really breaking through the defence. Like, we're not exactly very good going forward. And obviously Newcastle is solid defensively. And obviously they've got wealth of talent in midfield and attack that our defence might, I shouldn't say might, will struggle with. I've always liked Newcastle though. Definitely one of the more favourable teams in the division for me personally. More just the black and white strip was pretty sick, isn't it? It's pretty sick. But anyway, that's the prediction for the video. I really hope we can perform and do something special here, because it is a chance for something special, but would need, not a miracle, but we definitely need God's assistance in this one. Just like the City one, we're going to need some otherworldly assistance to get us through this. But anyway, hi Newcastle fans if you're here. Anyway, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the game. I believe it's at 8, so I'll be live at 7:50, 10 minutes before kickoff, for the watch along. So if you want to join, have a chat, maybe celebrate, maybe cry, depending on what the score ends up being, then come join us. But anyway, there'll be a community post as well. I nearly forgot that. Community post on the channel, which you can predict, win, loss for us, obviously. Probably a loss, about 30%, I'd say. But yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday.